Okay, so this will be a feedback slash critique for what do we have? Silv Sarl. Neat. Hey, so I'm not active in Armor King Discord. I'm probably never going to be, besides the occasional hi and bye. If any of the Armor King Discord people are watching this, I hope y'all are doing well. Uh, anyway, Silv Sarl, I do not know you, but I'm just gonna make this simple. I am not a Tekken professional, right? I'm just a nerd who likes Tekken and talking about it. And based on my experiences, I have some feedback that will hopefully help give you some direction or maybe some form of help, right? I am by no means a Tekken professional, so take what I say with a grain of salt, but take into consideration. First and foremost, yeah, post losses, posting wins when you're just kind of steamrolling people with offense because nobody's really paying attention to the Armor King matchup or counter hit setups and all that stuff. That doesn't do anything for anybody, right? It's like you're already winning. Sure, we can clean up offense here and there, but if you really want pinpoint feedback and if you really want to kind of shore up some weaknesses, especially long term, post losses. I mean, they don't have to be losses where you got absolutely demolished and had no idea what to do, unless you want maybe some matchup specific feedback. But just you got to post losses, man. They're gonna tell you more than you just winning, right? The winning tells you some of it, but the losses are where you can really dive into the nitty gritty details about like, hey, look, here's what you're doing right, here's what you're doing wrong, here's why things didn't work out, or here's what you want to work on. With all of that being said, you got the first two rounds here. You lose you lose the next two, and I want to analyze why, and I want to talk about it. And in addition to that, also it feels like you're kind of newish on terms of structuring the offense. I'm seeing a lot of just I'm gonna do the big power move because nobody really knows how to counter it, including the guy who's talking in this video. And you're getting a lot of reward for it because no one's really playing defensively yet. No one's really calling you out on some bad habits, etc., etc. I don't know how deep in the rabbit hole for Tekken you want to go, right? It's a long journey. It's doable, even in Tekken 8, right? It's doable, but I don't know if you want to get all nerdy about it and talk about why, spamming down back three is kind of why you should be using more like down forward one, down forward two, especially Fog, down forward two, and the way they changed them was really fucking annoying. I don't get it. I don't know. So after this video, if you, by any means that you watch it, you're like, yes, I want to dive deeper into the world of Tekken. I want to be Tekken God Supreme Omega and ruin my life. Hey, by all means, right? You're in the right place. All these nerds in Armor King Discord have always been super helpful, always been really chill. So they've always been good. But if you just kind of want, look, I just want to beat up on my friends and maybe mess around in ranked here and there, we can do that. I'll try to point out which areas, which strategies go in kind of what category, right? I'll just try to point out like, hey, I think you should just do more of this offense here, right? Or hey, this is working out right now, but in the long term, you want to rethink this strategy, right? So, advice that will work in the short term and advice that will ideally help in the long term, right? And if at any point you have questions, you can feel free to ask the guys in this Armor King Discord or whatever else. With all of that being said, let's get into it. So you had two rounds to start. Nice throw break here. So this is going to be a common theme here, right? The opponent whiffs a button, and you were kind of already pressing it. So you're kind of autopiloting. A long-term strategy to find the most immediate success with Armor King is whiff punishment. He has some of the best whiff punishers in the game, right? He's got launching Dark Upper. Now he's got perfect Dark Upper, right? He has forward 2-1, which will hit from Narnia. He's got forward 2 or forward 4, the big boot thing. And he's got back 3 now. Back 3 being a very fast, long-range, high launcher, right? Just in case you're feeling lazy or you think maybe forward 2-1 is not going to hit. You have a lot of options. Whiff punishment and developing that skill set takes time, but you want to be on the lookout for it. A lot of these early opportunities are great for that because the opponents are always pressing, and so if you combine a little bit of movement with some spacing, you get an opportunity to enact a different form of offense than simply just pressing your regular offensive buttons, right? So normally, right, you're over here, you're in this land of like, I'm going to mash buttons and press. But instead, if you had waited slightly, right, let's go right here. I'm going to mash buttons and press. Oh, I got grabbed. Okay, move to the side a little bit. He whiffs, and if you had not committed, actually, maybe back to 1-2 would have worked. I don't know. If you had not committed, all of a sudden you can punish with a hop kick. And normally, when they're just blocking it, or just, that move, whatever it was, on block is not punishable. It's not launch punishable, right? Whatever, like that back turn kick he did. But if it whiffs, all of a sudden moves that are safe on block, as long as they made contact with the opponent, they're safe. Now all of a sudden have this fatal flaw, right? Where if you're sharp with it, and it honestly doesn't take that much practice, it's got to be a little bit locked in. They're getting launched, and you're Armor King, so you just shit out damage like candy. Try to develop that mindset. Try to develop this skill set of, I'm going to press a few buttons to annoy my opponent, and then I'm going to back off, see how they react, and if they like to press big buttons that I can step around or move around and get a free huge whiff punish, you're golden. You're Gucci, right? But again, that is a long-term strategy. It can be kind of difficult to develop, and it can be kind of frustrating, especially in the early parts where you're not as familiar with your whiff punishment tools. But if you want to commit in the long term, if you want to go up in those ranks, whiff punishing and understanding when you've got your opponent so frustrated, when you've understood their timing, it can open up a whole new world, right? But something to consider. Anyway, for now, you try to enact a similar offense, go for the homing throw. It's not the worst, but it gets broken. So what happens after, right? This is what I'm talking about. You break the throw, you go for your own throw, and then you don't even have to press anything. Look, he's already attacking, and you can just let it whiff and then do forward 2-1, right? And then boom, you're in heat. And the kings are both Armor King and regular King. Their heat mode is stupid, right? It's really good. You got homing command throws. If you connect with the throw, it'll regen heat, so you can just keep it looping. Armor King has a repeatable looping plus on block mid that's got fat range and kind of homing. I don't know. It's got good tracking, I think, but it's insane, right? And that heat can be a win condition in and of itself, right? It's not Warrior Instinct, but it's pretty good. All right. Anyway. But this is what I'm talking about. You just ignore the fact that you did 3+4 right here, right? You didn't have to press a button. The opponent was already doing the work for you. When you play a character with a pretty solid defensive toolkit like Armor King, a lot of the times you just have to go, okay, what if I just don't press? What if I don't commit? What if I don't bother doing anything? What does my opponent do? And a lot of these intermediate players, right, these early stage players, they're just gonna press. They just want to press. They paid $80 to press buttons, and by God, they'll do it, right? And then that's when you go, cool. You press the button. Here's a whiff punish. Here's a fast counter hit that disrupts the timing, etc., etc., etc. Right. Let's keep going. Okay. That's fine. See, like, look. You block something that's safe on block because get-up kicks are safe on block, and for some godforsaken reason, he's at -9, right? All the get-up lows are -9. He's mashing at -9, and you're counter hitting him. Here, if you did something like wall standing 2, you're golden. You just demolish him, right? Because look, your wall standing 4 is 11 frames. Your wall standing 2 is 12 frames, pretty sure. And they're -9. The opponent has 9 frames of recovery that they got to go through before they can even feasibly, like, realistically challenge what you're doing, right? Their dig jab that was normally 10 frames suddenly takes 19 frames total to finish up, right? To even get startup. So anything faster, 18 frames or faster, you're going to beat whatever button they press, right? At -9, unless they're Yoshi, there's very little they can press here. Maybe some evasive stuff, but they're playing Armor King as well. So, the point I'm trying to make. Once you get a sense that the opponent just kind of likes to mash, right? So instead of doing wall standing 4 here, okay, I just blocked the move from my opponent. I'm left crouching. They're safe, but I think they're going to mash regardless. Let me do while standing 2. Let me just do my counter hit launcher and see what happens, right? So if you still have this replay, use the replay takeover. Go back to this moment right here, and instead of pressing while standing 4, use the replay takeover, which is the best feature in the game by a country mile, and press while standing 2 and see what happens. Whole new world opens up. But you get while standing 4, you do forward 3 right after, which is not bad, but then afterwards you continue to mash. This is a bad habit. If you do a move that is minus on block, unless you have some next level read on your opponent, just block. Don't keep trying to mash. That's more of a long-term thing, but this is also in the short term. In the short term, you'll develop these bad habits where you get comfortable mashing in situations that can be easily disrupted, and then it's going to be hard for you to break those habits, right? If you try to incorporate movement, right? Because a lot of people love to just dick jab here, right? So look at, like, this dick jab is really annoying. How many times have you tried to enact offense and then the opponent just does dick jab on you? But if you block something and then do like a backdash, because dick jabs don't have a lot of range, and all of a sudden we're back in the whiff punishment land, right? And you're playing Armor King. Your whiff punishment's pretty good. So if they do a dick jab, you got forward 2-1, you got all your mids, etc., etc. Right? You can do sidestep and whatever else. I don't know how minus forward 3 is on block, but I don't know. Dick jabs just have pretty awful range unless you're really, really close. And I think even at like -9, like I've stepped dick jabs at -9, and it's just how it'd be, right? It's just that is the trade-off of having a very fast disruption tool like that. This is also another classic thing you seem to do. It's like, I'm just gonna spam the launcher. You got to break that habit, man. It doesn't matter who you fight. Eventually, you're gonna find you don't even have to fight Tekken gods for this. You'll just fight people that know basic punishment, and they'll take advantage of your kind of trigger finger, your trigger happiness with a forward 2-1, and then just get free damage on you. And now, instead, when you could have just like waited a little bit and maybe done something else, you're getting knocked down because everybody has a forward 2-1 is like -12, right? Everyone's got -12, -13 Punisher for it these days. And if you fight an opponent that has like a -12 knockdown punish, what are you doing, right? You're waking up into a mix, and it's not a fun place to be. Rein in that habit. That's just the number. If you got to walk away with one thing from this video, stop autopiloting up forward 2-1. You will die for it eventually. It will be a bad habit to break. You have your Tekken 8 Armor King. You have a plethora of other offensive options you could be doing, right? Sure. Jumping axe, double axe handle, whatever the fuck it's called. It blocked, that's fine, whatever. And look, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? He goes for a dick jab when he's at plus frames, because I guess he's expecting he'll do something slow. You backdash and then whiff punish. You're already there. You're already at step 1. Just utilize a little bit more movement. See the opponent just rip out a move, and you go, cool, whiff punish. And you got to be quick with it, especially against dick jabs, right? But trust me, it's doable. And if you want to develop as a player, if you want to develop especially with Armor King, trying to get familiar with, because whiff punishment is not like a formula that you can always just plug in and always do. It's a lot of depending on context, right? What move is the opponent using? What are their habits and stuff like that? But to be on the lookout for those signs, to know like, okay, I think he's going to press here. Let me hang back a little bit and get a bigger reward than you would if you had just blocked the move. It takes time. And I think developing right now is ideal, right? You go for the double axe handle. See, again, you got it. You got it. Beautiful, right? If you're playing, any of the characters with like a legacy down forward 2, right then and there, you would have launched them, right? But you can also just do hop kick here. While standing 4 is kind of fast, but trust me, like, I've seen Armor King players, I whiff a jab and they hop kick me, right? I mean, his hop kick is kind of wonky with the hitbox, but the point I'm trying to make is whiff punishment is really cool with Armor King. Develop that skill. Start now, and you just build it up little by little, and trust me, it'll open up a whole new world. Right, you have the concepts right there. Like you're pressing after he whiffed his button. It's not a punish because your move was too slow, but the concepts are right there. Right, nice mash. Get it with the hop kick. Hell yeah! And your Armor King. feel like you can get a little bit more damage than just 80. But I don't know. I don't play this character. And so here, and this is the issue we're talking about, right? What do you do when someone else runs like that same style of offense against you? He runs a lot of down back 3, and it's just kind of eating you alive. Is that safe? That shit's annoying. You get punish. I think that's what riposte is here, because it's not a counter hit. You didn't get your counter hit launcher, but okay. Why are you doing? Okay, so break this down for me, right? What is the thought process here? Why are you running and then doing back 3? What? This is punishable, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they made it punishable, which they should, because it's, it's a fucking huge long-range launcher. So, what was the thought process here? Why did you think this move would connect? What indication did you have that a 15-plus frame move, I think it's like 16 or something, right? It's going to be a lot slower than wall standing 2, jabs, down forward 1. It's going to be slower than down forward 2 in this context, right? It's 16 versus 15, which can make a difference. Why did you think that was going to hit? This should be the thought process in your head. Try to look at the synergies between your moves. Why do moves work? If I'm using a high attack, what made me think that it's going to work on my opponent? Is he mashing? Is he trying to press? Am I setting up a frame trap, right? Think about how your moves interact with each other. Your mids will beat an opponent that ducks. So how do you make them duck? You do lows and throws. Okay. Then they start ducking them, so you go, all right, cool, here are a bunch of my mids. And then they start blocking your mids, and you're going, okay, well, my mids are getting blocked, and I don't think Armor King has that many scary mids that if you block them, you're in a really terrible position. You're in a lot of annoying positions, but nothing terrible. And you're like, oh, I want them to duck again. How do I do that? Stop doing mids. Go back to doing lows and throws. That ebb and flow of moves that complement each other is a very critical skill to develop. When you're running in on your opponent, ask yourself, is there a reason I'm going to do this high launcher? Is there really a reason, right? He's already ducking, right? So why go for a high, right? That's just something to consider. Oh, did you do forward forward 3? Is that what that move is? No, that's totally back 3, because forward forward 3 has a slightly different animation. Or yeah, forward forward 3 is the homing high kick, right? So why do back 3? Ask yourself these questions and try to develop like some sort of game plan to follow. That's kind of, once you develop that structure, it can be kind of it might lead to some issues in the future, but you can work around it. But just right now, you're constantly putting yourself at risk, and against stronger opponents, this will backfire on you. Nice, right? Nice. Frame trap, beautiful. He doesn't have a lot of health left. Let's close it up. And this is what I'm talking about. Why did you do back 3? Why, right? And I'm not trying to, shit on you, but you as a player have to ask yourself these things. When you make a conscious decision in a fighting game, what was the thought process that happened there? Even if you're not thinking in the moment, a lot of people play on autopilot. Autopiloting is good, right? I autopilot. Everyone autopilots. Everyone has a flowchart. But the question you have to ask yourself is, why is that happening? How do I improve my autopilot? How do I develop it into a stronger, tighter flowchart? And yeah, that requires active thought at the start, right? You got to ask yourself, why am I pressing that button? Could I be doing something better? And then develop that, right? But at this time, you did a high move. He did down back 3. You should have died, but it's fine. Yeah, and then it's Armor King near. He probably read the down back 3 and just launched you for it. Is that safe? I don't remember. I do not play against this character. I don't play against any character, to be fair. God, this game's whack. Okay, so right here, why'd you stop? Right? What happened there? Well, he started attacking you. I don't know. You can just kind of do 3+4 until it stops working, right? And nobody's really gonna have a good counter against it. That's something that you got to consider is, again, while you're keeping track of your opponent's habits, just make notes in your head, okay, what worked? What worked to my opponent? What are they weak to? Are they eating a lot of my string based offense? Okay, what strings are they dying to? Let's just keep using those. When you see 3+4 working like that, I don't see any reason you should have stopped. You could have, kept going. You could have just done 3+4 and then retreat and kind of mess with the timing a little bit more, right? You had successful offense, and then you kind of hesitated. You had a good read that he was going to try and challenge you with some keep out or something, but then you just stopped. Oh wait, I'm trolling. This is not you. Whoops. I fucking zoned out for a second. Anyway, just okay, it wasn't you. My bad. But consider the what is it? The stuff that I'm saying, even if it wasn't you on that aspect, just what is it? Think about that, right? Think about, okay, what strategies are working against my opponent, right? And if they keep working, just keep doing them, right? There's a next layer to it of like, okay, well, are you developing bad habits? That's you can go into that analysis, into that rabbit hole if you want. That's if you want to go deeper into Tekken, which some people may or may not want to do. All right, sorry. Let me reanalyze this from what's that company? Razer. So Razer Armor King over here. Okay, so what happens? You get the down back 3, but then you try to go for the Hebrews, which is not bad. Where did it start falling apart? That's my question. You already got this round, or he got that round. Where did it start falling apart? Right here. This one's tough. That stupid ass drop kick is really annoying to punish. Really tough. And then he starts doing 3+4 on him, right? So in your case, why not just do it back to him? Why did you not try the same thing on him? So this is more of a short-term strategy, but 3+4 is just pretty annoying, and if people aren't practiced against it, they'll just fall apart. Trust me, I'm talking from experience here. And I mean, I'm the one falling apart. So consider that as an offensive tool you should use in your arsenal to mix up your offensive approach. A lot of your offensive approaches, I'm going to throw out some down back 3s. I'm going to YOLO up forward 2-1, and you have better offensive options. You can do that forward 3-2-1 string that he has that goes into stance and all that other fun stuff. You can do 3+4, pretty straightforward. Down forward 2-1, down forward 2-1, and all the whole shenanigans with it. Just it's easy money. It's easy money to kind of pick apart people with just those moves. Down forward 2-1, 3+4, and maybe the occasional like forward 3-2-1 into like stance mix-ups, right? Something to consider. Okay, so you successfully challenge him. You start putting on some pressure. What goes wrong? What happens? He starts disrupting you. You get the throw because I guess he was going for, because you got the special guaranteed flash, which means you're probably going for armor or something. You got the Oki. What's the Oki? Down back 3, not bad. You got guaranteed damage. You're running up. What happens here? He knocks you down and then does the dropkick on you again. Unfortunate. That's tough. I mean, that's not really anything that's too crazy. Okay, so you tried to apply Oki here. Solid, right? Where does it go wrong? I think what goes wrong here is, again, what I'm talking about with the whole concept of whiff punishment, right? Based on your previous Oki interactions, just based on previous interactions, if this guy gets knocked down, he's gonna mash a button, right? Pretty straightforward. So why are you running in? Why are we running? We know previously, just based on previous interactions, you had 3 rounds of fighting this guy, and if he gets knocked down, he likes doing some get-up kicks. Why are we not low parrying? Why are we not just keeping our distance, letting the hop low get up low whiff, and then whiff punishing, right? What is what is the thought process? And again, fighting human opponents, not computers, not CPU level 9 on Smash or whatever the fuck. When you're fighting a human player, it's just about pattern recognition. It's about recognizing what they like to do at what timing, and just you're gonna see it over and over again. It can be difficult in a first to two setting. It can. It's understandable. You got to combine a little bit of character knowledge and start developing, being able to read people. But in this intermediate area, right, there are certain common patterns that are just typical of everybody. How they're typical of me when I do it. If this person likes to get up kick and you're not punishing them, they're gonna get up kick the shit out of you. And you either start developing that skill of whiff punishment, or you start running up and low parrying them, or hop kicking them, right? Just mash something that low crushes on them, because they like get up low, so use a low crush. You have plenty of options, right? And then obviously you die here, which is unfortunate. I don't disagree with the heat burst decision making. But I don't know, it's kind of tough, right? The thing to consider is when you use a move that loses to lows, like heat burst or any armor move, you gotta wonder, like, what type of player am I using this against? Are they someone that will mash a lot of highs and mids? Cool. Are they someone that will mash a lot of lows, like this dropkick low or down back 3 because they're armor king, right? And then you gotta ask yourself, is an armor move against an opponent who likes to use a lot of the power lows, is that really a good decision, right? Again, this is where that pattern recognition comes in. My opponent likes to do a lot of panic lows. Also, I'm low on health, so like 99% of the player base, they're probably going to go low to close out the round. Should I do an armor move at this time? Right? That's something you got to ask yourself. And try to use heat burst almost as like a little parry, or when they're attacking you for sure with the mid or high, sure, heat burst. But if you know they like to go low, be careful, because then that stuff happens, and there's nothing you can really do about that, right? So beautiful movement, right? This is what I'm talking about. So you're developing that skill set. You have it. You're almost there. Just try to avoid overcommitting. I think here you just went for it because you wanted to do sidestep 2, and as you should. Sidestep 2 is a really good low, right? But again, try to purposely move and develop that skill set and figure out, if I just move here, I can whiff punish him instead of just waiting for something to happen, right? There's not much here. You kind of steamroll in with your offense. Maybe work on some combos a little bit more. I'm pretty sure Armor King can squeeze out more damage. I also think the Oki could be a little bit better. Nice, Duck. Nice. Whiff punish, or slight whiff punish, whatever. Close enough. Unfortunate counter. Counter. Nice disruption. See, you had it. You have the foundation built, right? You're right there, right? Just maybe a little bit more sideways movement, because I think get up mid will lose to sidestep, and then you'll see how much free damage you get just from a little bit of patience and a little bit of movement. Almost not quite. Nice, beautiful. That heat smash is so annoying, but it also looks really cool. And then you got it. All right. Oh fuck! It's been forever since I've done one of these, whatever. All right, how do I like to do it? Neutral. Punishment / matchup knowledge, combo / Oki, personal opinion stuff. Damn, it's like riding a bike. Neutral. There's a lot of stuff to work on the neutral, but again, it's really just about how much effort do you really want to put into this. I don't know. The only person that can answer that is you. If you want to put in long-term effort, try to start using more jabs. Try to start using more down forward 2-1. Down forward 2-1 is just really good. Either short-term or long-term. You can just mix up a lot of people with that. And that string mix up, especially as you get better and better at using it and mixing up timing and mixing up your options, it's just very frustrating and very annoying to deal with. Even if it is, it's no longer homing like his old one. Rest in peace, dude. Fuck that move. Anyway. More down forward 2-1. More... We talked about whiff punishment a lot. I try to stress that point a lot, so it's whatever. You can use CD1 and a lot of your stronger offensive options a bit more, I feel. Yeah, this guy's not really ducking that much, and you could be doing CD1 a bit more, get some free plus frames, get some pressure going, stuff like that. You can just do more throws. You guys kept using the same throw over and over again. Maybe you have a few more sets where you vary it up a little bit, but I gotta start seeing some giant swings and shining wizards here, man. That's those are bread and butter moves of your offense. If my character had giant swing, oh baby, you best believe I'm gonna be spamming the shit out of that throw. I don't care if they tech it. They need to know that I have that so that they can be, you know, mind fucked. But I don't know. Paul has a 12 frame homing command throw, so that's okay. That's neat. Right. But if I had Shining Wizard and Giant Swing, ooh, you best believe I would be using that to pressure my opponent's mental stack all day, every day. Holy! Oh my god, how could I forget? There was not a. I watched all these matches. There was not a single forward neutral 2. That move is so good, right? Yeah, it's no longer a counter hit launcher, but the guaranteed hit, throw, grab into heat, whatever, fine. That is perfectly fine. Forward, neutral 2. Why are you not using it? I don't understand why Kings bother with down back 3. I mean, I know why they bother. People like me just eat it all day. Well, but forward, neutral 2 is your friend. Use it, abuse it. Right? That should be like, that's got to be something you can work with a little bit more, right? Use more forward, neutral 2, use more throws, use more jabs. There's a lot of stuff. But if we're talking about just immediate, if you want to see immediate results, just kind of like, I just want to beat the shit out of people. Dude, just start doing the string, start doing down 4-2-1, start doing 4-3-2-1, whatever that string is that goes into stance, just start mixing people, right? Go into stance and just put them in a guess. In the long term, it can be kind of difficult. Not every, as you fight people more familiar with the matchup and more experienced players, you gotta start playing like fundamental Tekken, which is a whole different valley, dude. Shadow Tekken is a whole different world. We'll see. If you want to go there, hey, you're in the right place. But that's a discussion for another day. Combo / Oki. Combos were okay. Could use improvement. Watch a combo video. Level yourself up. Oki. Just try to pay attention to what type of opponent that you're fighting. If they like a lot of get up lows, start running up and hop kicking them, or just whiff punish them, whichever. If they don't, then don't. Right? Adjust your Oki based on that. Punishment / matchup knowledge. There's a little bit, but it's not worth going into. It's fine. You play the same character. Learn your punishment. Personal opinion stuff. I did just frame trap a bit harder with wall standing 2. Use forward 4. That move can be really annoying, right? Just try to pester your opponent a little bit more before committing to this using, the way your offense is currently structured. If you want more ideas on how to structure offense, you're in the right place. Ask the actual Armor King players. I just like talking about Tekken. Alright, man. Anyway, I hope some of this video... Oh, fuck, this video is way too long. I hope some of this illustrates and makes sense about, hey, here are the ideas I'm trying to convey. Talking about whiff punishment, talking about how you could be abusing some of Armor King's more annoying offensive tools to better dismantle and destroy your opponent, and talking more just kind of like... You got to ask yourself, I mean, you're in a Discord for this game, so seems like you want to level up a little bit more, seems like you want to be in it for the long haul, but you ask yourself, how much of an investment do you want this to make? Because it can go very far, right? It's a bottomless pit, man. There's so many layers to this game, even in Tekken 8. But yeah, if you have questions, let me know. Just let other people know. Just ask questions. Try to get a better understanding of how to create a bit more structure and utilize the better tools Armor King has than just the current ones you're using. The current ones you're using are going to work for now, but it will not always be that way. And then you want to you don't have to... This improvement and these changes are not going to happen overnight, but you want to start thinking about that, right? Why are you not using forward, neutral 2? Why are you not using down forward 2-1? Why are you not abusing more matchup knowledge checks, right? Is there a reason? Why? Right? Ask yourself why and explore. Like, what do these tools offer you? What is the reward? What is the risk? Is it worth it? And try to emulate other successful Armor Kings. What are they doing? right? It's probably a lot of whiff punishment, but anyway. Oh, and then more sidestep 2, right? Sidestep 2 is pretty busted. God, people should be using that more than down back 3. Anyway, hey, look, if any of this helped, I'm happy. If it doesn't, please let me know. Ask questions like, hey, what did you mean by this? What the fuck are you talking about here? You're full of shit. I'm this, blah, blah. Whatever it is, just let me know. All right, man. Take care. Have a good one.